Main topic summary, pardon the interruption, National Hug Day edition, the 3rd of December 2025. PTI opened with a round of playful, affectionate jabs between Wilbon and Tony in honor of National Hug Day, but the lighthearted mood didn't last long. Once the show dove into the real topics, everything quickly zeroed in on the chaos of the college football playoff rankings, where Alabama jumped ahead of Notre Dame despite both teams winning a move that had Wilbon nearly ready to bite the committee for ignoring the Miami-Notre Dame head-to-head. Tony broke it down with classic PTI tension. If BYU beats Texas Tech, the Big 12 could grab 2 playoff spots, which would shove either Alabama or Notre Dame out. Both hosts agreed the committee seems to be paving the way for Alabama, even if that means kicking Notre Dame to the curb. From the NCAA mess, the show pivoted to the Penn State drama. Big Ben unexpectedly suggested that Mike Tomlin should leave the Steelers after 19 years to take over at Penn State, a proposal that made both hosts blurt out one word: wow. Roethlisberger praised Tomlin, yet hinted the time to part ways may have arrived, and both Wilbon and Tony admitted it might truly be time for Tomlin to turn the page. The drama didn't stop there. Moving to the NBA, the Clippers have collapsed to a disastrous 5-16 and effectively handed Chris Paul a one-way ticket home. Wilbon, a close friend of CP3, struggled to talk through the situation. He emphasized that Chris Paul is an old-school leader, strong-voiced, direct, and not for everyone, and that Clipper stars like Kawhi and Harden must share the blame for the team's failure. Tony argued the issue likely stems from a clash between CP3 and Ty Lue. Either way, both agreed Chris Paul had to leave the Clippers, but not because the failure was his fault. PTI closed on a heavy emotional note. From hugging jokes to football chaos to Chris Paul's exit, a full spectrum of emotion that defines PTI at its best: funny, dramatic, and unafraid to challenge any big name. Main topic summary, pardon the interruption, National Hug Day edition, the 3rd of December 2025. PTI opened with a round of playful, affectionate jabs between Wilbon and Tony in honor of National Hug Day, but the lighthearted mood didn't last long. Once the show dove into the real topics, everything quickly zeroed in on the chaos of the college football playoff rankings, where Alabama jumped ahead of Notre Dame despite both teams winning a move that had Wilbon nearly ready to bite the committee for ignoring the Miami-Notre Dame head-to-head. Tony broke it down with classic PTI tension. If BYU beats Texas Tech, the Big 12 could grab 2 playoff spots, which would shove either Alabama or Notre Dame out. Both hosts agreed the committee seems to be paving the way for Alabama, even if that means kicking Notre Dame to the curb. From the NCAA mess, the show pivoted to the Penn State drama. Big Ben unexpectedly suggested that Mike Tomlin should leave the Steelers after 19 years to take over at Penn State, a proposal that made both hosts blurt out one word: wow. Roethlisberger praised Tomlin, yet hinted the time to part ways may have arrived, and both Wilbon and Tony admitted it might truly be time for Tomlin to turn the page. The drama didn't stop there. Moving to the NBA, the Clippers have collapsed to a disastrous 5-16 and effectively handed Chris Paul a one-way ticket home. Wilbon, a close friend of CP3, struggled to talk through the situation. He emphasized that Chris Paul is an old-school leader, strong-voiced, direct, and not for everyone, and that Clipper stars like Kawhi and Harden must share the blame for the team's failure. Tony argued the issue likely stems from a clash between CP3 and Ty Lue. Either way, both agreed Chris Paul had to leave the Clippers, but not because the failure was his fault. PTI closed on a heavy emotional note. From hugging jokes to football chaos to Chris Paul's exit, a full spectrum of emotion that defines PTI at its best: funny, dramatic, and unafraid to challenge any big name. Main topic summary, pardon the interruption, National Hug Day edition, the 3rd of December 2025.